Did you know that the month of your birth holds an ancient secret that can completely change how you see your life? This isn't about horoscopes or fortune-telling. It's about a kind of ancient wisdom that has been forgotten over time. According to ancient Buddhist teachings, no one is born by chance. The month you were born isn't just a mark on the calendar. It holds the key to revealing a spirit animal that has been with you since your first breath. This invisible guardian represents everything you are deep inside, even what you haven't yet seen. This animal directly influences your life, shaping how you feel, love, fight, and defend yourself. It impacts your impulses, emotions, and life's challenges. Discovering this animal could be the turning point you didn't even know you were searching for. In this video, I won't just tell you which spirit animal is tied to your birth month. I'll show you what it reveals about how you love, how you face difficulties, how you protect yourself from what hurts you, and even how you grow in the most unexpected moments. If you're one of the skeptics thinking this is just fancy talk, stick with me because I'm going to say things about you that you've never told me, and you'll be surprised. The connection with this spirit animal goes far beyond what it seems. It explains why certain challenges happen in your life, why you have a sensitivity no one understands, or why, despite all the hardships, there's a strength inside you that refuses to give up. It might explain why certain pains keep repeating, or why you feel different sometimes, even out of place. Maybe it's this force that drives you to seek meaning in things, even when those around you don't seem to get it. So, before we go on, comment below where you're from and how old you are. I really want to know who I'm talking to and how far this energy is reaching. If this has already resonated with you, give a like now and subscribe to the channel, because what's coming next could transform how you see yourself, and that changes everything. Ready? Your spirit animal is about to reveal itself, and it has a lot to tell you. Before I show you which spirit animal was born with you, there's something essential you need to know. This wisdom has existed for centuries, but the world has become too noisy to hear what it was saying. Everything turned into rush, opinions, distractions, and in the midst of it, the connection to this sacred part of who we are got lost. But it's still there, alive, waiting for the moment you'll remember. Maybe that moment is now. When you discover your spirit animal, don't see it as mere curiosity, see it as a calling. This animal isn't just a pretty symbol, it's a living force that vibrates within you from your first breath. Maybe without realizing it, you've already felt its presence in defining moments of your life. Think back, was there a time in childhood when you were wilder, more instinctive, more connected to your essence? Or maybe right now, in this very moment, when it feels like you're searching for something bigger, truer, your spirit animal was there. It always has been. But for it to truly act, to guide you, protect you, and open paths, you need to be aligned with its energy. That's where the secret lies, because when you're disconnected, whether through fear, wrong choices, or simply never learning to listen to yourself, that force goes quiet. It doesn't vanish, but it weakens. That's when blockages appear, patterns repeat, and you get that feeling of why isn't my life moving forward? But when you reconnect, everything changes for real. The spirit animal starts to act. It pushes away what doesn't belong to you, attracts the right people, shows you clearly what your intuition already knew, but you ignored, heals old wounds, and sets you in motion again. It's like unlocking a door you didn't even know was locked. And no matter how far you've strayed from this energy, it's still there, silent, patient, waiting for you to remember. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to do that. Now that we're about to begin, let me make a special invitation. Besides discovering your spirit animal, also check out the one for your son, daughter, partner, parents, grandchildren, or someone you deeply love. Because when you understand the energy guiding that person, everything starts to make more sense. Their reactions, behaviors, choices, even the challenges they face. you'll connect with the essence of those you love. If you were born in January, the spirit animal that walks with you is the wolf. And no, it's not just because it represents strength or leadership, it's because it carries a rare kind of wisdom, the ability to protect without dominating, to guide without needing to be followed. Those guided by the wolf often have a sense of responsibility that was born with them from a young age. You might have felt the need to look after others, to be strong when no one else was, to stay in control, even when everything inside was crumbling. That's not weakness, that's your instinct at work. But what most don't realize is that the wolf also needs silence, time for itself, to step away from the pack, occasionally to reconnect with what it feels. If you were born in January, this might be one of your biggest inner struggles, balancing how much you give to others and how much you give to yourself. It's common for people with the wolf as their spirit animal to be seen as a rock, someone everyone turns to for support. But who takes care of you? This spirit doesn't just teach you to be strong, it teaches you to be true, to listen to your intuition, which often warns you of things before they happen, to observe quietly when the world is shouting, to choose the right moment to act and the right moment to wait. The wolf is strategic, but also emotional, and that's what makes you so unique. You feel deeply, even when you don't show it, and deep down, you know when something's off, even if everyone else says otherwise. The wolf's energy also speaks of loyalty, but not just any loyalty, it's the kind that comes from the soul. You can't connect halfway. When you bond, you go all in, and because of that, you often get disappointed by those who don't match your level of commitment. But that pain is also a lesson. The wolf shows you that not everyone deserves your energy, and that protecting your space is just as important as protecting those you love. If today you feel like you've lost some of that strength, that you don't know where to go, or have drifted from who you were, know that the wolf is still there, just waiting for you to remember. It never abandons you, it only goes quiet when you forget to listen. The best way to reconnect with this energy is through silence, nature, and introspection. Moments of solitude aren't loneliness, they're reconnection, they're where the wolf grows stronger. Cultivating this connection is simpler than it seems. Walk in open spaces, meditate with forest sounds, write what you feel, listen to what your body is saying. When you turn inward, the wolf awakens, and with it come the answers you were searching for outside, because you don't need more noise, you need direction, and the wolf knows exactly where it is. So if you were born in January, know this, you carry the spirit of the wolf within you, an ancient, protective, intuitive, and strong soul. But don't forget, your greatest strength can also be your greatest vulnerability if you don't know how to balance it. Protect others, yes, but don't abandon yourself in the process. The wolf needs the pack, but never forgets who it is when alone, and neither should you. If you were born in February, the spirit animal guiding you is the owl, and if there's one thing this animal does like no other, it's seeing in the dark. The owl represents a vision that goes beyond what the eyes can see. Those guided by it often sense things before they happen. You have a subtle, almost invisible sensitivity that picks up on what lies behind words, hidden in gestures, what others can't or won't perceive. And if you've always felt a bit out of place, quieter, more observant, it's because you were already tuned into this energy from early on, even without knowing it. The owl isn't flashy, it doesn't need to speak loudly to be heard, and maybe you're like that too, someone who prefers silence over noise, depth over superficiality, truth over spectacle. People guided by the owl have a rich inner world, they think a lot, feel even more, and because of that they sometimes withdraw, not because they don't like people, but because they need to protect themselves from external vibrations. The owl teaches that not everything deserves a response, that true power lies in observing, reflecting, understanding, and only then acting. But don't be fooled into thinking the owl is just introspection. It's also a symbol of wisdom and strategy. Those who carry this energy are often excellent advisors. You've probably heard people say they feel good just talking to you, that you have a calming, grounding presence. That's the owl at work. And the most beautiful part is that often you don't even realize how much you help others just by being there. But the owl notices, and it keeps guiding you. This energy also awakens spiritual gifts. It's not uncommon for February-born people to have a strong connection to the unseen world, intuitions that come true, dreams that feel like messages, an interest in mystical, philosophical, or profound topics. The owl opens that portal, but it also demands responsibility, because seeing too much can hurt, and feeling too much can exhaust. That's why it's so important for you to learn to filter what you absorb, to protect your energy as something sacred, because it is. If today you feel you've lost that clarity, that you're confused or emotionally overwhelmed, it might be the owl trying to remind you of the essentials: silence, retreat, the pause to listen to yourself, because it's only in the dark that it appears in full force. And with you it's no different. Sometimes it's when everything seems chaotic that your true vision starts to reveal itself. You just have to trust it. Reconnecting with this energy can be simpler than it seems. Deep, silent meditations, reading spiritual texts, writing your unfiltered feelings, all of this activates the owl's channel, and when you align with it, something incredible happens. You start seeing situations in your life with an almost magical clarity. What seemed complicated becomes clear. What hurt begins to dissolve, and you understand exactly where you need to be. So if you were born in February, understand this. You have the soul of the owl, a wise, sensitive, spiritual soul, and your mission is to use that vision, not only for yourself, but also to light the way for others. But first, remember to light your own path, because only those who see in the dark know the value of light. If you were born in March, the spirit animal that walks with you is the dolphin, and it didn't come just to make you smile. It came to remind you of your light. The dolphin represents joy, empathy, and a deep connection with the heart. Those who carry this energy often have a different kind of glow, something that attracts, comforts, and transforms the environment just by being there. You might not even notice, but when you show up, the vibe shifts. Some call it charisma, others call it sweetness, but in truth, it's healing. You heal without trying, just by being you. From an early age, you likely felt everything intensely: other people's pain, small joys, unspoken words. People like you, guided by the dolphin, are like emotional antennas. You pick up on what's unsaid. You suffer quietly for pains that aren't even yours, and yet you keep smiling, you keep giving, you keep embracing, because your heart is a home for many. But that also exhausts you. Giving without receiving, feeling without being understood, pouring yourself out without limits, wears down even the strongest souls. And that's where the dolphin shows its true wisdom. It teaches that joy isn't an obligation, it's a choice. That caring for others is beautiful, but caring for yourself is sacred. That lightness needs to be cultivated, protected, preserved. Those born in March need to learn to say no without guilt, to understand that being a light doesn't mean erasing your own shadows, and that being empathetic isn't about carrying the world on your shoulders, but embracing without losing yourself. The dolphin's energy also awakens communication gifts. You have a unique ability to express feelings, to translate emotions into words, art, touch, glances. It could be through speech, writing, music, movement, but there's a need in you to communicate deeply, and when you find that channel, everything flows. Your soul sings, and the world listens. If today you feel your light has dimmed, that you've lost your spark, that you're too tired to smile, maybe it's because you forgot to nurture yourself. The dolphin doesn't swim alone for no reason. It seeks the group, affection, lightness. Return to the ocean of your essence. reconnect with what truly brings you joy, your creativity, your spirituality, the people who recharge you. To align with this energy, seek contact with water, mindful baths, meditation by a river, deep breathing, dance, write, laugh, do what reconnects you with the flow of life. The dolphin reminds you that living can be simpler than you think, if you stop trying to control everything and just flow. If you were born in March, remember this every day: you are the dolphin, a light, sensitive, vibrant soul. You came to touch hearts, but not at the cost of your own. When you're connected to your essence, you don't just live better, you make the world around you breathe easier too. If you were born in April, the spirit animal that walks with you is the tiger. And this isn't just any energy, it's one of the most intense, courageous, and untamed in nature. The tiger represents focus, inner power, and presence. Those guided by it often carry a silent strength that commands respect without raising their voice. Maybe you've noticed this in yourself, a way of entering a room and shifting the energy without saying a word. People feel it, and often they don't even know why, but you do. It's the tiger moving through you. From a young age, you might have felt different, that you didn't accept senseless orders, didn't bend easily, carried a strange courage, even in moments of fear, because the tiger isn't fearless, it's aware of its strength, and that's what makes those born in April so special. You feel the danger, but you face it. You see the challenge, but you go for it. You don't run from yourself. And in a world that teaches everyone to hide, that's rare. But the tiger also teaches about solitude. Unlike other big cats, it walks alone, and maybe that's why you feel misunderstood at times, as if no one sees what you carry inside, as if your battles are invisible. But the tiger doesn't need anyone's approval to exist. It trusts its own instincts. It knows when to act and when to wait, and so do you. Even when you doubt, your body knows, your soul knows. This energy brings a natural sense of leadership. You might not see yourself as a leader, but people follow you, they watch, they're inspired, and with that comes great responsibility, to not use strength to control, but to guide, to not dominate, but protect. The tiger doesn't roar for no reason, it only shows its teeth when necessary, and that's a lesson for you too. Choose your battles, know when it's worth spending your energy, and when it's better to retreat. If today you feel you've lost your strength, that you're acting on autopilot, or letting others sway you, maybe it's because the tiger is sleeping inside you, but it's there, whole, waiting for you to remember, and when it wakes, no one can stop it. It's as if courage floods your chest, focus returns to your eyes, the desire to live your way, with your rules, your intense way, reborn. To reconnect with this energy, seek activities that challenge you physically or mentally, things that demand your full presence, active meditations, workouts, hikes, bold projects. The tiger feeds on movement, but also strategy. It wants to see you in control of your own life, without needing anyone's applause. If you were born in April, never forget you are the tiger. You were born to lead your own story, and when you reconnect with this essence, no one, absolutely no one, can stop you, because the tiger doesn't need to prove anything, it just needs to remember who it is. If you were born in May, the spirit animal guiding you is the horse, and this choice by the universe is no coincidence. It's a reminder. The horse is a symbol of freedom, movement, and vital strength. It represents a soul born to run wild, explore new horizons, and never accept imposed limits. And if you feel a constant restlessness, a desire to go further, to experience, to not be trapped in a suffocating routine, it's because the horse is calling you, it lives within you. And when you try to tame it too much, that's when anguish arises. From a young age, you were likely seen as intense, full of energy, maybe even hard to control. But the truth is, you weren't born to be controlled, you were born to live authentically. The horse teaches that freedom isn't rebellion, it's instinct. It's your spirit saying, This path isn't mine, even when everyone around you is following it. Those guided by this animal need to learn to listen to their own truth, even when it bothers others. The horse also carries incredible strength, its resilience, focus, movement, and this reflects in you. You have an above-average ability to recover. You fall, but you get up. You tire, but you keep going. You get disappointed, but you don't give up. And it's exactly this strength that inspires those around you. Even when you think you're lost, your energy moves things, moves people, moves life. But for that to happen, you need to be connected to your own rhythm, because when you try to live at others' pace, you lose yourself. Another strong trait of this energy is independence. You value your choices, your decisions, your space, and when someone tries to cage you, you pull away, not out of pride, but because you need to breathe. You need to feel you're still in charge of yourself. The horse doesn't accept emotional fences or relationships that stifle its soul. That's why it's so important to surround yourself with people who respect your freedom, people who push you forward, not hold you back. If today you feel stuck, directionless, maybe it's the horse nudging you. It wants movement, it wants new paths, it wants to see you alive again. And the good news is, it's there, ready to run by your side, just waiting for you to unlock the gate of your own mind and say, now it's my turn. Because when you reconnect with this strength, the world feels bigger, possibilities start to emerge, energy starts to flow. Here's a tip: find ways to move, literally and symbolically. Walk, travel, explore new ideas, make bold plans, free yourself from patterns that hold you back. The horse's impulse and purpose, it doesn't run aimlessly, it runs because it knows where it wants to go. And you know too, even if you haven't said it out loud yet. If you were born in May, never forget your soul is the horse, wild, strong, instinctive, and true. When you try to live a small life, it screams. But when you align with your essence, you gallop toward a life with meaning, and no one can stop a soul that moves with heart. If you were born in June, the spirit animal that walks with you is the koala, and it carries one of the most subtle and powerful energies there is, the calm that heals. The koala represents sensitivity, affection, and a deep connection with what's essential. People guided by this energy often have a quiet but enormous heart. You feel everything intensely, even if you don't show it. You notice what no one says, read environments, understand silences, and because of that, you often withdraw, not out of coldness, but for protection. From a young age, you might have felt a bit different, more observant, more introspective, more connected to what others call silly, but you know it's not silly. It's intuition, it's soul, it's that gut feeling that's right, that care that anticipates what others need, that peace you offer just by being there. The koala reminds you that you don't need to make noise to be essential, and you are. The koala's energy also brings a tremendous power of nurturing. People around you feel they can be themselves, because you don't judge, you understand, and that's why so many lean on you in tough times. But here's a warning: you need to care for yourself with the same tenderness you give others, because that sweetness inside you gets tired too. It needs comfort too. It deserves rest too. The koala lives in balance with nature, and that says a lot about you. Noisy places, overly intense people, excessive demands, all of that drains you. You need light, calm, affectionate environments. You need time alone. You need space to feel, and that's okay. It's not weakness, it's heightened sensitivity, and it's one of your greatest strengths. If you learn to respect it instead of trying to fit where you don't belong, you'll thrive. If today you feel overwhelmed, emotionally exhausted, or disconnected from yourself, maybe it's the koala reminding you to return to your center, that it's time to slow down, to breathe deeply, to listen to yourself, and to protect yourself. When you align with this energy, everything falls back into place. You start making lighter choices, saying no without guilt, setting boundaries without fear. To reconnect with this essence, seek contact with nature, art, spirituality, gentle meditations, moments of silence, self-care rituals. The koala doesn't rush. It feels, it observes, it lives in its own time, and you can live that way too, without pressure, without haste, just being you. If you were born in June, never forget your soul is the koala, sweet, profound, gentle. You came to remind the world that there's strength in delicacy, that there's power in silence, and that there's healing in the simple act of being present, whole, with an open heart. If you were born in July, the spirit animal that walks with you is the turtle, and this choice by the universe says a lot more about you than it seems. The turtle represents protection, ancestral wisdom, and a deep bond with emotions. It carries its home on its back, and that speaks directly to your soul. You're the type who needs safety to thrive, not just physical safety, but emotional, a place where you can be yourself without having to defend yourself all the time. And when you don't feel that embrace, you retreat. You close off, and many mistake that for coldness, but it's not, it's care. People guided by the turtle often have a powerful emotional memory. You remember details, words, glances. What hurt you long ago still stings, and what touched you beautifully is never forgotten. This emotional depth is a gift, but also a burden, because you feel everything more intensely than you show, and sometimes you hold so much that you lose yourself. But the turtle comes to remind you that you don't need to carry the whole world on your back, that you can and should pause, breathe, and protect yourself. This animal's energy also speaks of wisdom, not book wisdom, but soul wisdom, the kind that makes you give spot-on advice, have accurate intuitions, notice things no one else does, and that's why so many trust you, even without fully understanding why. It's the turtle at work, a steady, silent, loving presence that guides without intruding, that teaches without imposing. Another strong trait of this energy is attachment to roots. You deeply value your history, your family, your memories, and because of that, you sometimes struggle to let go of situations or people that no longer serve you. The turtle teaches that protection can be an imprisonment, that sometimes to move forward, you need to leave behind what only weighs you down, and that moving slowly is still moving. You don't need to run like others. You have your own time, and that's sacred. If today you feel lost, tired, or emotionally scattered, maybe it's the turtle trying to remind you to turn inward, to seek silence, to find safety in yourself, not in others. When you reconnect with this energy, everything calms, the noise fades, and you start hearing your own voice again. To align with this strength, seek introspective practices, deep meditations, contact with water, with old stories, with what connects you to your essence. Treat your space like a temple. The turtle lives within itself, and you can do that too, without isolating, but by embracing yourself. If you were born in July, never forget, your soul is the turtle, sensitive, protective, wise, and when you honor this rhythm, this depth, this care for what you feel, you find a serene strength no one can take from you, because those at peace with their own heart are at peace with the world. If you were born in August, the spirit animal that walks with you is the lion, and this goes far beyond the obvious. It's not just about strength or courage, it's about presence. The lion carries an energy that commands respect even in silence. It doesn't need to prove who it is, because its soul speaks before any words. And if you recognize this in yourself, if you've always felt that somehow people expect more from you, that they see you as someone who needs to be strong, who leads even without trying, now you understand why the lion is with you. And it doesn't walk with just anyone. From a young age, you might have felt you carried a different weight, as if you had a mission, even without knowing what it was. The lion doesn't hide, even when it's afraid. It faces it, roars, protects, and so do you. You defend those you love fiercely. You can't tolerate injustice. You can't stand seeing someone suffer in silence. But sometimes, in the midst of all that strength, you forget to let yourself be vulnerable. But the line